The grand ballroom of the Royal Crescent Hotel shimmered with golden light as chandeliers sparkled above the wealthy elite of the city. Expensive suits, glittering gowns, and the sound of polite laughter filled the air. In the center of it all stood Alexander Reed, a 32-year-old millionaire CEO whose success story had been featured in magazines across the country. To everyone watching, he looked confident and untouchable. But inside, Alexander felt trapped. Tonight wasn't a celebration, it was a carefully planned trap set by his powerful family. His parents had invited investors, politicians, and most importantly, Isabella Carrington, the daughter of their business partner. Everyone in the room expected Alexander to announce their engagement by the end of the evening. It was a strategic marriage meant to unite two massive business empires. But Alexander didn't believe in love built on contracts. He had spent years building his company from scratch, making his own decisions, and tonight he refused to let anyone decide his future. His mother had already whispered to him 3 times, reminding him to behave properly and make the announcement before midnight. The pressure tightened around him like invisible chains. Across the ballroom he spotted Isabella approaching with a confident smile, clearly expecting her future fiancé to greet her. Alexander's heart pounded. He needed a way out, and he needed it fast. Just then, near the entrance, he noticed a young woman who clearly didn't belong among the city's elites. She wore a simple but elegant floral dress, her long hair flowing naturally over her shoulders. Unlike everyone else, she wasn't trying to impress anyone. She stood quietly near a table, looking slightly nervous but curious as she observed the glamorous environment around her. Her name was Emma Carter, though Alexander didn't know it yet. She was a freelance photographer who had been hired last minute to cover the event after the original photographer cancelled. As she adjusted her camera strap, she noticed the intense gaze of a stranger walking directly toward her, the same millionaire everyone in the room admired. Before she could even ask what he wanted, Alexander did something that shocked both of them. He gently pulled her closer and kissed her. It wasn't aggressive or dramatic, but it was enough to freeze the entire ballroom in stunned silence. Gasps spread across the room like wildfire. Isabella stopped walking. The investors stared. Alexander slowly pulled away, looking into Emma's wide, confused eyes. Then he turned to the crowd and calmly said, "Sorry everyone, but I can't marry Isabella. I'm already in love." The room erupted into whispers and chaos. Emma's heart raced. She had no idea what was happening, but she knew she had just become part of a scandal that the city's newspapers would love. Alexander leaned closer and whispered quietly to her, "I'm really sorry. I'll explain later. Please just trust me for a moment." Emma should have walked away immediately. Any sensible person would. But something in Alexander's eyes wasn't arrogance, it was desperation. Against her better judgment, she stayed silent. Within minutes, Alexander's furious parents stormed toward him, demanding answers. Isabella left the ballroom humiliated. The business partners whispered angrily. The engagement announcement was completely destroyed. But Alexander felt an unexpected sense of freedom. Later that night, outside the hotel under the cool city lights, Emma finally crossed her arms and looked at him seriously. "Okay," she said. "You owe me the biggest explanation of my life." Alexander apologized sincerely and explained everything: the forced marriage, the pressure from his family, and his impulsive decision to create a fake relationship to escape it. Emma should have been angry, but instead she laughed softly at the ridiculousness of the situation. She agreed to pretend to be his girlfriend for a short time, but only on one condition: he had to stop treating life like a business deal and start living like a real person. What began as a fake relationship slowly turned into something unexpected. Emma didn't care about Alexander's money or reputation. She challenged him, teased him, and forced him to see the world outside luxury boardrooms and billion-dollar negotiations. She showed him simple joys: street food markets, late-night walks, photography trips, and conversations about dreams rather than profits. For the first time in years, Alexander felt alive. The woman he had kissed randomly to escape a forced marriage was slowly becoming the most important person in his life. Weeks later, when his parents once again demanded he end the relationship, Alexander realized something surprising: he didn't want the relationship to be fake anymore. One quiet evening on a rooftop overlooking the glowing city skyline, he looked at Emma and said honestly, "That night I kissed you to escape my future, but somehow you became the best future I could have imagined." Emma smiled, realizing the same truth had slowly grown in her heart. Sometimes the most unexpected moments change our lives forever. And sometimes the person who enters your life by accident becomes the reason everything finally makes sense. If you enjoyed this powerful story about love, courage, and unexpected destiny, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss another inspiring story. Because the next story might surprise you even more.